Well, folks, what's happening? Welcome to Mentality Monsters. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by our King's Camps and Corrigan Camps. Or shit. Just want to throw it out there.
Thank you.
I was joking. You actually sponsored us on the Ali McLean's.
Yes,
I think you were our first ever sponsor for any episode. Apologies, but today we're joined by Henry and Adam. We'll go into their background. So Adam's a coach and Henry's a fighter, also owns his own MMA club, and he's a founder. He's a pillar of the community, and he's my sensei. So, yeah, lads, cheers for coming on. I really appreciate it. And Henry, we'll start with you. Just so, get a bit of your background, what you were like as a young person, wanker, and then what you do now.
Yeah, so just normal childhood. Can't really say anything out of the ordinary. I just grew up in Ardoyne, where we're from. You know, just like in Ardoyne. Everyone's
a fucking comedian. Everyone does everything.
It's a bit crazy, and you've got some characters in the place too. But yeah, so grew up normal childhood. Went to St Malachy's, secondary school. Played a bit of football growing up, and Gaelic. I love Gaelic. And then,
were you actually like smart back then? Because St Malachy's is it is a good school. It's it's a good school that.
I did well in my 11+, and then when I got to secondary school, it kind of it went out the window a wee bit. It's just. Just like messing with your mates and all. But I love school. I loved being in school. Didn't like doing the work. But yeah, went there, had a great time in school, and then when I was 5th year, I had to leave because I didn't get the grades. Didn't really try, to be honest. But
where did you go after that? Was that
Springfield Tech?
Springfield Tech.
That's madness.
So I went
you go from a grammar school with all these people from all across the country, really smart. To Springfield Tech, where it was it was nuts. I was doing joinery too. So I went from I love computers and all. So I went from doing all that kind of work. I just love computers and technology design, all kind of stuff.
Techie to tradie?
To tradie. So it was a big change, but I loved it because seeing you're young, you're 16, and you're getting 50 quid a week, you think you're great.
100%.
You're loving it. So I only went for the money. Didn't actually like joinery. And then I lasted a year and a half in that, and then I left. Just left and started working.
And what you going to after that there?
Honestly, I can't remember. I've had about 20 jobs. Between leaving tech and being 21, 22. Met my missus, Rebecca, and we had a daughter. What age was she? Rebecca was 19, I think, and I was 20. So I was young, 21, 20. I was 20, actually. The reason I know is because Evie's 9 now, and I've been training as long as she's been alive. So I started MMA 6 months after she was born. April to September, 5 months.
What kind of inspired that? Because back then, MMA, well, obviously you had the likes of McGregor and stuff. That's early days coming through. Was that the reason why?
I remember. I always tell this. I've told this story a few times. Sean was watching McGregor in the bedroom. So we lived in my ma's house, 2-bedroom house in Fleck Street. Me and Sean were both obviously adults, living with our ma in a wee box room. And then he was watching McGregor on YouTube before, and I walked past, and he was like, "Look at him, he's class." And I was just like, "Shit." Walked on, but later that night I put him on my phone and watched him. He's fucking brilliant. I loved him.
Did you do boxing or any combat sports before this?
I was one of them kids that they get sent to boxing just to get away from their man dad, but I didn't learn nothing. I was shite. James was good at boxing. I was crap at boxing. I just went and I was a wee fucker, and I was one of them kids that get sent home.
Yeah.
So I was shit at boxing. Dipped into it, but again, I didn't really learn nothing until I started doing MMA.
Did you have anything, when you started MMA and striking, did you lean back on any of the things from boxing?
My striking was shit until I went to Fight Academy. That's what I think. I didn't understand it. When I used to go into fights, I didn't even know what I was going through. I was I hope I grapple. I just didn't want to, I wasn't confident in striking until about the last 2 years. I've really worked on it with Fight Academy, and it's really improved, and the way they have their systems and stuff.
Was that the first place you went to do MMA?
No, I started off in IFS. So I did 9 years ago. It'll be 10 years. So it'll be 9 years this September.
And then what kind of made you, how long actually into the journey was it before you moved to Fight Academy?
About 6 years, maybe 5 years. 5 years or so, I think. 5-6 years it was. And then I moved to Fight Academy because it'll be near 3 years in my Fight Academy, I think.
So see at Fight Academy, have you just always been pro in Fight Academy?
Well, yeah. I had my amateur fights at FS, and then I went pro, and then lockdown happened. It was mad during lockdown. I was just stressed out the whole period of time there where I should have had more fights and stuff. But yeah, I had a pro fight and then went to Fight Academy and had 2 more, and then I haven't fought in about a year and a half at the minute, because of obviously opening the gym.
Yeah. Before we go on the Adam here, I just want to say that photo I sent you yesterday. I know, no, I'm not going to put it anywhere. But that's the first time I've seen that, and I was just like, oh,
I can't believe you haven't found it earlier.
Oh my
Knowing you,
God,
I've got photos of you too. So
I know, here, listen, loose lips,
I've got videos of you.
Yep,
Yeah.
you do.
Remember that?
Yeah, we'll just move on from that.
Definitely move on there.
So Adam, if you can give me just a background on yourself, just what you were like as a young person, where you're from, and how you've ended up being in the position you are now.
So grew up similar to Henry, normal enough childhood. Mum and dad split up, and me and my mum moved to the west. I had lived in Glengormley before this, so we moved to the west, and that was obviously a
culture shock.
It was a bit of a culture shock, a big change. We lived in my granny's house for a wee while, and then similar to Henry, I was sent to boxing club, Holy Trinity Boxing Club. So that would have been my first sort of taste of wanting to do like any sort of combat sport. Before that, I was always like a shy, quiet, low confidence type kid. Like, so going into them types of gyms was definitely like, geez, this is a scary place to be. Like, so again, normal enough childhood, school. All right, I actually done okay in school. Didn't really enjoy it, but I actually done good.
Where did you go?
CBS, in Glen Road. So ended up coming out with like good GCSEs, A levels. Went to uni, tried it. Done 2 weeks, left, told my mate it was the course, went back the following year, done a new course, and then left.
What was the course you done?
First one was history and criminology, and then history and politics, and then went back the following year to do criminology. Done the first day of the first lecture and went, fuck this is not for me. So after that, just sort of had different wee jobs, just doing deliveries, working in a call centre, doing back and forth different things. And then I worked in Bavarian on Boucher Road, and I was a service advisor in there, and I was doing well and getting like bonuses and company cars, and everyone was like, "It's a great job," and I was loving it. You have this class job that she thinks anyway, but it's just something I just never really liked it, didn't enjoy it, and I always wanted to move like back into like doing more work in the gym, and always wanted to be a personal trainer and things like that. So after working there for about 2 years, I ended up leaving and then becoming a coach, and then I've been coaching now for the last 9 years.
What was it that actually drove you to go into coaching in terms of, like, this is the profession that I actually want to do? Was it a love of helping people? Was it just you thought it's a good way to make money, you're active?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. Like, at the time we were training, I actually wasn't training as much in Fight Academy at the time because I took a wee bit of a break, and I was training my mate, and he had like a load of weight on him and helped him lose a load of weight and getting him stronger, and I was like, I could actually do this as a job. And then things were going on, like my mate was actually having a mental breakdown at the time, my granda was down, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be in this job. And like it was just giving me more perspective on like, do I really want to be doing this for the rest of my life? You were you were looking around, they were all fat and fucking miserable, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this, and I really enjoy being in the gym and enjoy doing this. And then shortly around that time, I had started training back up in Fight Academy again, and Shanda would offer me to start taking a calisthenics class up in the gym on a Thursday night. So I started that, would be about 9 years ago, probably this month. And so we started doing that, and then that was kind of my first like paid job of doing it. So then I handed my notice in, left Bavarian, and then I've just been in Fight Academy ever since.
So you've been PT in there for the last, say, 9 years, or coaching?
Coaching in there for the last 9 years, but I started MMA whenever I was 16. So there was a wee gym in the Falls Leisure Centre with a guy who used to own the gym with Shando. Before they opened it. So I'd done a few months with him in the Falls Leisure Centre, and then they opened up Fight Academy which would be 16, 17 years ago. And I've been there, and then ever since I've never trained anywhere else and done all my work with Shando. And
then see, with you both being I'm just looking at you and I was about to burst out laughing.
Why?
I don't know why. Because you're being serious, that's why.
I know, I have to be.
Well, actually, hold on, I'll take this jacket off because
there he goes again. No, what are you wearing again?
If Corrigan camps and then Praise Guy are on show, our things are going to be on show.
Alright, but here,
you know what I mean?
what's it? Is that top?
It's a medium.
Medium.
It's a medium.
It's not a medium.
Medium. Listen.
See, we were in the gym one day, right? And I was changing my top between sessions, and I needed to have another top. Give me Caine, if you got a t-shirt there, he threw it at me, and it was a medium. And I was like, that's mine now. I kept it. Like, there's no way you should be wearing it.
We swapped tops. We swapped tops. Here I was an Altram top, and I bought it the year before, and I think I wore it once. Because I wore it on holiday, and I go to myself, this just ain't gonna do.
Nah, it was a nice top too.
But see, in Fight Academy, obviously I've had Tiernan on and Donard, and just the kind of environment the Fight Academy has, and just the fighters that are actually there. What's it actually like working there, and then also fighting there as well, or like, or training there? What's it? Is it infectious in terms of the environment? Everyone wants to do better, or like Shando driving you to do better, or do you actually just want to do better yourself?
I think the culture of the gym is just that everyone wants to try and do as well as they can. Like Shando and Pat, and everything they do it at a high level.
Yeah.
Like coaching, working, running the gym, running the shows, everything they do is done at a high level. So the culture that they're setting and the standard they're setting for us is, like, if I want to coach in the gym, I need to be studying like them. I need to be putting the hours in like them. And then the fighters are the same. So I feel like the coaches, myself, who have came through from fighting there, training there my whole life, and then moving into coaching, and only the fighters, it's just the culture of the gym is to try your best, to be a good teammate, to support each other. So it's a really, like, it's a family environment, to be honest. I've always said that. Like, from my start there as a young, shy kid right up to being an adult with my own kids training there now, it's a proper family environment. And Shando and Pat, they just, you know, the way that they operate, it's a standard they set. So if they're showing up and they're putting the hours in, they're studying, I'm doing the same, it's only fair that the fighters must do the same as well. So we're just creating a great environment.
See, now for the both of you, are you studying more as fighters or studying more as coaches?
Definitely for me, studying more as a coach. I know in my head that I'm 10 times the coach than I ever was as a fighter. Like, I feel like I've learned more and got better even as a fighter just through coaching. So definitely the hours that I would be putting in studying are probably more hours studying than what I would have been probably even training whenever I was fighting.
Are you more nervous as a fighter or as a coach?
There's different kind of nerves, like, but
Different.
you do be nervous. Like,
I'd be really nervous, especially.
Obviously, you don't want to show too much because then it can just it can affect your fight.
Yeah, I
particularly.
have an Ali video where he's like, "Why are you all looking so scared?"
Class of it.
I always play out my head before I go because I'd think about it. I get really nervous. Like, so we Damien and all them kids who I've been training from like they were babies, and then now they're fighting fellas pro. So I'd be definitely nervous whenever they're in because you care so much about them, like, you know.
Well, we'll move in here just to what you used to have going on. So I'm going to let you two, just for people that don't know, but we'd say majority of people do know who are going to be watching this because they've got a real interest in MMA and again what you're doing. Can you give us just a brief description of the youth league and what you're doing?
We seen me start talking about this. It's non-stop. The other night there was last 2 nights ago.
2 nights
on
ago,
laptop.
aye.
We were jumping on for a 10-minute meeting. It was an hour and a half long. Talking about it. We're actually saying what we'll talk about in the podcast, and then we said, boom, we start talking and just couldn't stop.
The ideas are just flowing.
So much ideas, but yeah, in a nutshell, what we've done is we've created basically a junior promotion. So kids from the age of 7 to 17 can compete 3 to 4 times a year. 4 being the goal on our league. Started with obviously myself and Adam. We both run massive teen classes. So Fight Academy, what do you have at the minute? Like 60 people?
We have an insane amount.
Your mat looks insane.
It's massive.
Packed.
It's busy every week.
From our youngest class, and you know, like from I think it's 5 to 8-year-olds, 8 to 12, and then the teens. It's honestly there's probably about 100 between them all, like at least.
Would they all be on the mat at the same time, or is it broken up into different
Broken
times?
up into different classes, yeah. So you've got a younger group, and then slightly older kids, and then it goes into the teens in from 12 on. But as Henry says, we had just such a massive team between the two of us. And he had run his own club show and I had run my own one a few years ago as well, that we knew that if we'd done this together we'd be able to do it at a good standard, at a good level, and we had the teams there. I think the biggest driving factor was just to try and get our own kids competing, to try and make our own teams better and to try and make our own teams stronger.
There was nothing.
There's nothing. We have literally created this platform where there is nothing like this in the north whatsoever. Barely anything like this in Ireland, to be honest, where it's like solely focused on kids. We don't worry about adults. We're not, if you're over 17, we don't want to know. We want to just focus on giving like a grassroots platform for kids, for the sport, which it just doesn't exist. So we're trying to create that.
I think it's insane that there's going to be kids there that are fighting, say, at 7 and 8, and they're going to be going into, say, their amateur career, and they're going to have like 40 or 50 fights.
That's exactly. Like, see, we have a child that say they start wrestling their 7, and they're able to fight, say, even 2 times a year. And they fight for 10 years. There's 20 fights before your novice fight.
Exactly.
It's mad.
I remember watching, I came in for a 1-to-1 with you, and there was a kid in before, and I remember watching him.
Was it me Killian?
It must have been. And I was just like, fuck me, if anybody walked up to him in the playground, I would absolutely kill him.
I remember he first came as well. He first came to our gym, and the kids just surprised us so much. I love teaching the kids and the teens. The teens are probably my favourite class. But they surprised you. He came into our club when we first opened, and we said, is he meant to be in our class, not the younger one?
Yeah.
He goes, no, he's in this class, me sweet. Because he was small for his age at the time. And he came in, I remember the way he was throwing his punches. I was like, he looks like he's angry. Like, Tyson, like, just throwing with venom. And he's so good. And to see the way he's developed over the course of the last year, it's amazing. And all the kids, you see it yourself.
Yeah.
Seeing them when they fight in our teen league, the jump they go within 3 months is insane. Like, there's a couple of our kids, teens, sorry, who fought on the first show got smoked, like mounted and couldn't even escape, and now they're going out and they're hitting head-on triangle chokes. They're hitting their own subs, standing guillotines, and they're just developing so much in such a short period of time. So see the teens, for me, they're just sponges, and the way they develop is amazing.
I love teaching the teens.
Love to see it. Like,
see the first event, if you can take me back to that, take me back to the planning for it, what you actually had to do, the finances behind it, and then just the pressure of actually running your own show, and kind of there's a bit of expectation there for not to fail or to be a success.
Definitely. So first show we ran in Henry's gym in Ardown, and we had met at the start of the year, so we had sort of decided this year we were definitely going to do it. We had talked about it. He was doing a session with me, and we were talking to Shando, and he had said, I think you should, start your own sort of kids thing. So we had him and had on what dates we were going to do, and then more shows were popping up going this date. So that was our date taken. And then Henry says, why don't we just pull the trigger and do it on this one, which was in 3 weeks' time. So there was like pressure because the two of us are perfectionists, like, and we want things to be done well. So it was like, we're going to have to put this together on 3 weeks. It's going to be hard enough. So that's matching, organising, everything. And there is a hell of a lot of organising goes into these kids shows, like a hell of a lot more than what I probably anticipated even at the start. So at the start, we obviously had to get all our child safeguarding, all our policies, all our insurance, all that, like the red tape stuff before you can even get a kid in the cage. All has to be laid out, and that was all learning for us as well. So we're like,
crash course, wasn't it?
Crash course, late night, sitting up, like most nights we were on talking to each other 12-1 in the morning, doing child safeguarding, watching videos on it, learning about this, and then making all our own policies. Thank fuck for ChatGPT.
Yeah, fucking lifesaver.
It saves time, it saves you, like, but so it's all getting put together on 3 weeks. So matching, I think we ended up with 88 kids, 44 fights, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Different teams, all organised, and we had to get everything from chairs to barriers to mats to everything, and
ring announcers.
See what he wants to do.
Oh, here, unreal. We need a good MC.
A good one, so you're not getting picked.
I've got the experience.
Talking shit.
Man, I've got a small McAllister right there. I've got it.
Shit.
Eddie Burns.
Eddie Burns. I told him a day I wouldn't slag him, so I can't.
Sorry, Burnsy. But sorry, bro.
No, you're grand. So then was a lot of like stress and planning, and a lot of finances that we probably didn't anticipate as well. Like, because we're trying to do this as safe and as professionally as possible. Like, it's easy to put on shows because there is no governing body and regulations. Like, there's nothing stopping us just doing this, refereeing ourselves. We want a professional level referees. We want the domestic teams to cover all the events that are experienced in combat sports and in MMA. We've been to all shows that we've, like, adult shows, kids events really, like for other sports, and we know what works well and what doesn't. We've seen shite ones. We've seen really, really good ones. Obviously, cage conflict being a perfect example for us of how to run a professional level like a professional level promotion. Yeah. So if we could apply that sort of level of professionalism and organisation and promotion where you're not looking to cut corners and skip steps, it would look really well. Yeah. And I think our main thing for that was obviously number one, fighter safety, but two, to be able to get the confidence of parents to see that this isn't going to be chaos, that this isn't Diego Sanchez in the cage elbowing the head of somebody, do you know what I mean? Like, we're making and we've seen what rules work well and what rules don't. From looking at the likes of the IMOFs and being the shows where people are just making up their own ones, we've got a rule set that I believe is good for moving the sport forward, but also keeping the kids safe.
One of the questions which I got is, are you just going to plan to bring this across the border at any stage? Do you think that's something further on down the line it could be?
It's not even something that I have thought about myself, but for me it's bringing everyone to us.
Yeah.
We're to Belfast, Junior MMA League, so we're going to keep this in Belfast as my
in-house.
Is what I would like, but I mean I wouldn't be opposed to it. Maybe one day.
I would rule it out. I just think for running shows in
Dublin,
the south,
Junior MMA League.
There's a lot of red tape for running shows in the south, a lot more than what there is up here. And I think that just personally, because obviously being from Belfast and our gym being in Belfast, and I think they've had their share of the success of seeing where high level MMA is, and I want to start showing not only with our own gyms and our own fighters high level MMA is in Belfast, but also grassroots levels in Belfast. So I want to make us like a hub for the sport, not just to think that people have to travel or go across the border. This is on your doorstep.
It's going to be kind of, especially with Paddy and Paul at the minute, and the kind of showcase that they're putting in, like, out to the world for Belfast fighters. Exactly. It's like, here could be now the home of, like, Dublin had their time, as you say there. Now it's time for Belfast in the north. How important was it for people, like, because Paddy and Paul were there, to show their support, that they're getting behind an organisation like this here and your events?
It was amazing. Like, see, we had kids, I couldn't even tell the kids till like the day before the event because they would all told their mates like Paul's like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people love him so much.
Mailed him 5 times and still not got a reply.
Says more about you.
That does.
But literally just starting their career like that's amazing.
Just even on one of the wee points, like one of the wee kids, the foster kid. Like there was
right,
a foster kid who had to get a judge order saying for him to come up and fight.
Serious?
And he come up to Paul and was talking away to Paul and got Paul to stay and watch him fight and was like, I'm going to fight for you, break your heart. Like, and Paul stayed and watched him. So like the memories that created, that's something me and Henry really wanted to focus on with this event, is that it's not just come in, give us your money, take your fight and get back out again, that we want to make these events like occasions for kids to go to, and that it's a big thing and they're looking forward to them and they're making memories, and that's why we'll have the behind the scenes photographer and all as well to capture like good like photos you'd want up in your living room, not ones of your kid fucking kicking someone as well, you know what I mean, and things like that. Like,
see the second event there, was that in Fit Academy?
Yes.
Yeah, itself. So it's kind of Fit Academy is a bigger area than what Ardoyne is.
Way bigger.
So you're moving up in venue, and then I'd say there's more kind of fucking logistics behind that there because it's a bigger venue and all that there. So what did you learn from your first event that you moved into the second event?
Well, for me, it was spectators. That's a big worry. We had to actually cap our spectators because we were limited with our space.
Yeah.
On both of the venues. So my gym's obviously smaller. You can only fit so much in. And Fit Academy, Shando's gym, sure they've let us use it. Bigger, but again, we had that issue with the car park. Remember?
yeah,
We freaked out. Like it was like we can't control it. Like, but there's people just parking where they
wherever
shouldn't be
and
parking.
all.
And we're blocking everyone off now. We're like, this is just a
the
headache.
event's growing in such scale that like, you know, it was outgrowing slightly being in gyms.
Yeah.
That as much as it was great being in them gyms, like having them, especially when we moved to Fate Academy, the big cage, everyone was right in front of the cage, at the big massive warm up area, like world class facilities. The kids loved it. Loved fighting in the big cage, loved having the bigger space for a matted area, so it was unreal. But just things like logistics, like car parking and things like that there that we're
You don't
learning.
really think about
We're learning as we go with all that. Like we've ran wee club shows, but we're talking about running events now.
Yeah.
You know, so it
Big
is
events.
Yeah, exactly. And
that means more people can come and support the kids.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And there was a growth obviously from the first one to the second one too. Like we had more than 10 extra fights. So you're over 100 fighters in at that stage. More clubs involved, more people coming, so definitely more logistics. And we had trial having like a staggered start time and all for the kids, so there was a lot that goes into the planning of it. Is a lot. I think there's probably, I wouldn't say there's more planning goes into kids shows, because obviously you're dealing with flights and stuff like that for pro shows, but there's such a spread and weight and age and experience that the matchmaking is difficult, and the matchmaking is definitely something that
It's
we
like
take
every
a lot
way
of
it
pride
goes.
on.
There's no divisions. It's like
Hard do you matchmake in
we'll
this?
have a system in place.
You have a system?
Unreal, was it,
Yeah,
like,
but I'd like to
really
talk
good.
about it a bit, like, but not without giving
it
too
away,
much
yeah.
away. But we've developed, I believe, which is like a really good system, which helps us keep the matches extremely fair, which again keeps the safety, and then also allows kids to be competitive without getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So we have like a range the kids can be matched in for age and weight. We obviously, the good one thing I will give away about it, this what I think is the best about it, is that we can speak to the coaches about what the kids' personalities are like.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Henry's team, you know, he has a kid neurodivergent. He needs to get he needs to be getting the right opponent.
Yeah.
It's not just the age and weight, black and white. What age is he? What weight is he? Throw him in with this kid who could maybe be a real, like, you know, potential to be really good.
Yeah.
So we have that, like, what's their personality like? Are they timid? Are they aggressive? Are they strong? What's their background like? So, you know, there's
You
a
actually
lot.
go into depth and
Yeah.
detail with it.
It's
Yeah.
not just a sign up on this website, pay your fee, put in your age and weight, and then they'll be matched accordingly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we
I
try
don't
to.
really like the computer matching like
Yeah.
myself, because like if you're doing like a BJJ tournament, you could be fighting someone with 20 fights, you know what I mean? And you're
Yeah.
having your first. It's you know what I mean, it's just it doesn't work. It wouldn't work for us anyway, and that's why in our last show the matchmaking was complimented so much.
That was
we had
probably
amazing
the
fights.
biggest compliment from all the officials. So from the medical team, from the referees, they were talking about how safe the fights were. So that last event there had perfect track. Like, it's hard to run a combat sport and say that there was no injuries whenever the whole goal is like literally like you're doing things that can injure you. But not one kid got hurt. It wasn't even so much as a bloody nose in that last show. So it just shows you like the level of safety and officials that we have in place. And the biggest compliment was how fair the matchmaking was. And for 55 fights, that's a good compliment.
Say it's filled you full of confidence, especially when you're coming off like success to success till success with like your next one planned as well. If you love the thrill of winning big, then you need to check out our Kings Competitions, the UK and Ireland's top spot for incredible praise competitions. They're giving you the chance to win luxury cars, dream holidays, top tech, and even life-changing cash prizes, all for a fraction of the cost. And what's the best part of this? Entering is super easy, so you just need to go on, select your competition, grab your tickets, and then you're in for a shot at winning big. With guaranteed winners in every draw and some of the most amazing prizes out there, our Kings is the place to be if you want to turn a little into a lot. So, what are you waiting for? Head over to www.ourkingscompetitions.com now and grab your tickets, and you could be our next big winner. That's Our Kings Competitions, where dreams become reality, and enter today. Dude, here, so see the level when you first joined MMA and first started training MMA and then first going to Fight Academy, the level of kids that are actually coming through right now, what's it like comparison with between when you started to what it is now?
I only noticed it when I went to Fight Academy. I remember, so I didn't really see much kids competing at the previous time I was at because I didn't have it. But when I went to Fight Academy, I remember sparring with and grappling with Caine, Corrigan and Damien and all them young ones, and Michael Shields as well. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm 29 years old or something, 28 it was. These cunts are mauling me and they're like 16, 17. I didn't know what was going on. But the level's scary. And that was a few years back. They're all adults now and competing at adult level. Like, there's a whole new wave of kids starting from the age of 7 now.
Exactly.
So what are they going to be like in 15 years' time?
Man,
scary.
10, 15 years. And where do you see this going?
League?
Yeah, not the I'm gonna still speak about the league, but not to jump too far ahead. But just into what is the vision for this league? Like, what do you expect to happen within the next 2 to 3 years?
Do you want to go first?
Ideally, what we're looking to do is go beyond just making it a one-off event and work towards building a proper grassroots national championship, regional championship type structure, like the way that there is in boxing. Like we had said there earlier, imagine what these kids are going to be like when they've had 10, 15 fights. Look at the success we've had in MMA without a grassroots structure, without any of that. Yeah. And then look at the success that boxing and we've had in this country with boxing with a grassroots structure. So that's what I'm looking to build. I'm looking to build towards something that's like a regional and eventually national championship sort of organisation.
Like the Antrims and stuff like that.
Ulsters, All Ireland's. That's in between those events. But then, throughout the year, there's these bigger ones that mean more. That you qualify from one, qualifies you to the other. And eventually, I would love that to be part of then the selection for our international competitions. So there's big goals for it to go beyond just one event. Like, we're not looking this just to be an event for to make money. We're looking to create a proper platform and system for grassroots level MMA.
It's a long-term thing. It's a long-term strategy.
Some cracking ideas wrote down that they're unreal. We might release some of them right now. But what do I think about by the time when's this getting released?
This will be out in 4 weeks.
Alright, we'll talk about the Grand Prix then.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're doing is remember Pride used to do the Grand Prix tournaments.
Who?
The Pride used to do not the Pride that you go to. the Pride, the fighting. They used to do the Grand Prix tournaments, like the 4-man, 16-man tournaments. But yeah, we're doing a tournament style for our next show here. So there's going to be 4 kids at a 62 kilo division, and then 4. Is it 23 kilos?
Yeah.
So, 4 kids picked for each tournament, and they're going to have a tournament on the day and win a massive trophy. So that a Grand Prix, you'll have 2 fights in one day. So
that'd be class, yeah.
We wanted to go big trophy as well, like old school martial arts tournaments, not like belts and things like that. To have something a wee bit different too. That we want to get big, they're struggling to fit it in the car on the way home type trophy,
bigger than some of the kids.
Yeah, bigger than some of the kids probably.
So your next event, you've upgraded the venue really on that there, and do you want to just talk us through that and exactly what's going to happen?
Next venue is Black Mountain Shared Space. It's actually a pretty new venue, isn't it?
Brand new facility. It's only been finished. I think it was only finished this year. A big £7 million invested facility. Real? Huge for a community facility, but they haven't really got much in it at the minute. But we went down for a meeting there a couple of weeks ago, and we're blown away by it. Size of the place, car park. It feels like it's perfect for us, and its location too. It's pretty much right in the Peace Wall. So with us being like an inclusive event, cross-community event, it's a perfect location, we feel like, for us. And the size of it obviously allows us to grow the event properly.
Yeah.
Like the spectator cap now is lifted. Before we were like, you can't bring any more than 3. And a lot of travelling clubs were disappointed by that. So they were really only coming up with their parents. So
like 14th Street would be one.
Yeah, we have a lot of clubs that want to bring people and support. So what I would love to see for this, and it's like big teams bringing all their teams down and like having supporters and you know, making it like a big like event where everyone goes.
Big day out.
That's what it is. Like, exactly. Even at their club, I don't know how to say it. Probably Lugamira. Yeah. See, they came, and after our event there, that was their first time being there. Like, going to a new event, you can be a wee bit apprehensive. Or like, don't know how it's gonna go with the mass making, but they were buzzing. They were like, can't wait to the next one. Big army coming next time. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
Every club that comes is the same way. Even I don't even want to speak this like certain clubs, but like, because they all love it. They do all love it. Like, there's Jason from Evolve. He loves it too. All of them. There's so many clubs involved.
Like, for many of the clubs that have been involved, the feedback has been brilliant. And if anything, they've gave us more kids from the first show to the second show, and we're hoping the same again. We'd love to get more clubs involved, definitely. If there's one thing that I would love to see more clubs from all over Ireland involved. The goals we have for this will be able to accommodate all of them down the line when we're running events with 2 cages and things like that, which will have all that in the pipeline. Like, so we want more clubs involved. Like, there's clubs out there that have kids who are wanting to compete, and we're putting on these safe events. Like, we worked it out. Like, the PFL had the same medical team we had, maybe an extra 5 or 6 people, obviously a bigger scale. But we had 2 ambulances, we had the same as them. Referees that are refereeing fights or being officials on the PFL, a big iron. Like, this is a kid's show. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? This is a kid's show, but we're trying to run it like with no corners cut. When we want people coming up and walking into that, we want them to look and go, this is like proper, professional, this is legit. Because it builds confidence in parents. Me as a parent too, the coach has said, if I bring our Conan to a competition and it's in shambles, they're matching off bits of paper and they're calling people over, I'm not going to be too keen to go to that. Or likewise, if you go to one and you're maybe paying through the nose, like a big amount of money to get them in, and then they're getting a short amount of time in the cage, and it's like, they're not learning, they're not getting the same learning. Like, the rounds is big for us, like the IMOF, for example, like that's the big international competitions, the IMOF Worlds, Europeans. Their rule set for young ones is 1 round of 3 minutes. In my opinion, it doesn't move the sport forward at all, because see, every round for a kid, it's a separate fight. See, when they come back to the corner and they see someone they're familiar with, that's whenever they get like all emotional, that's whenever like the nerves start to settle or the overwhelm starts to kick in. So they don't get that chance to be able to work through that by going out for a second round, going out for a third round. You go in there, our kids are nervous, first fight, you get 1 round. That's nothing, like 3 minutes and you're away. So that was the biggest thing for us, is that we wanted to have a fair price and a fair amount of time in the cage, because our whole thing, like, we are like, our ethos going forward is what I'm saying is progression of the sport, not profit. We're not trying to make as much as we can. Yeah. We're trying to push the sport forward. We're reinvesting everything that we're getting from the show back into it to make it better. And I think this next one's going to really show up with the Grand Prix and everything else that we're doing.
When is the next show?
13th of September. 2025. So it's about 14 weeks away. Roughly. Don't know the exact amount of time away, but it's soon. But yeah, as Adam said there, progression over profit. We're trying to keep it cheap. Well, then we have to run a show, of course, but anything we do get, you'll see the reinvestment. We haven't had a chance to show up beforehand because 3 weeks in the first show, and then show 2 we had 8-9 weeks.
8-9 weeks.
Now we've got more time. We've got a bigger venue already, secured that, and we're just going to keep growing. Like, we're just so much ideas of things we want to do. Like, even the 4-man tournament, then big trophies, stuff like that.
It's different than anybody else is doing.
And I can't wait.
See, for the cage, is the cage expensive to rent out?
The rent out? I don't know the exact cost, but we can work with Shando to rent the cage. Shando's going to help us out there.
Unreal.
So that'll be.
Have you been getting much help? Yeah, from
the support we've had from everyone. Like, honestly, the support from obviously Shando was the one who was pushing us into getting it, and the advice he gave us on what way to do things. Obviously, because he's so experienced in running shows and been to fucking thousands of shows all over the world. So when he tells us like something to change or to implement, we listen, because like the guidance that he's been able to give us is unreal.
He's always been like that, even for my gym. I'm always texting Shandon and voicing him for help. Yeah. And he's always there to help you.
He's always willing to help, and the support then obviously from the communities. Like when we were in Henry Sim, the amount of people who were coming in and helping us clean up and helping us put stuff away. And then the same when we had it in Fade Academy, a lot of the kids who I trained, their parents were sorting us out, like, one of them was able to get his chairs, the other one had a van, the other one was moving stuff for us. Like the support,
team effort.
Like we were actually sitting after the event, mind blown by the amount of support that people were giving us and the help that people gave us, and from everyone, from sponsors right through to the people who were helping move equipment. But what they said for us was,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What they had said for us was just like what we were giving their kids is like you're giving their kids confidence, you're giving them a chance to compete, you're giving them a chance to like progress themselves in the sport, and like even like with the coaching, like the difference that we've made in some of these kids' lives. Like when you hear that, like it's unbelievable. So for me as a parent, I know if that was our Conan, I'd want to give back every way that I could as well, and we'll really appreciate the support from everybody. Like
see for parents that would be hesitant to let their kids go in the cages, or what's the biggest misconception you think that people have of MMA?
Well, people think you're going to go in and proper like just bloody each other up and just kill each other, but maybe on a professional level you will see fights that are like that, but this is a kids level and our show has no headshots, just to get them used to being in there and using their techniques, and it's not what they think. And I think if any parent did have that hesitation, come and watch one of our shows and you'll be leaving saying I'm going to get him or her into that sport.
Definitely. I agree. I think like a lot of people like who are on the fence or they're not. I think a lot of it's education. So a lot of what we're trying to do with our social media and all is to try and educate people on grassroots MMA and the difference that I think a lot of people think that it's MMA, it's minimal protection and maximum contact, and you're like, you can't do that with kids. It's different. It's really dangerous. It's too dangerous. And like I said, our biggest thing is safety, because without the events being safe and kids getting injured, there is no future events. There is no.
You can put the sport back.
Yeah, exactly. There is no confidence from parents, confidence from clubs to put their kids in there. So I think even the last one there, one of the referees had said, "Flip, I didn't know that it would be this well run. I have kids for you in the next one." So I think just more people need to hear us and to see what we have going, and hopefully with this next one, they can come and watch the events. Anyone who's on the fence,
well, 2 shows in,
I would welcome them to come and watch the event and make up their mind once they've actually seen it.
See from your experience, if there was, it's the same type of question, but see for a kid that is watching this year and doesn't know exactly if they want to go into MMA, what would you tell them? What's the biggest benefit that they'll get from MMA?
I think when the kids see it, they do just join. It's happened loads of times. Like after each show, each gym, well, I know my gym has anyway, and a couple in Fight Academy, they want to go and do it. Senior mates, my kids' mates see them fighting, they're like, I can do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. And they see how safe it is. But I mean, if they are on the fence, just come watch it, and you'll see why it's good and why you should do it.
See for yourself, it's just a question which I've always wanted to ask you on camera, is what drove you to start out on MMA?
It's something I actually wanted to do for ages, for a load of years, but I mean, I was never in a position to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went to Fight Academy, and I just felt like I'm definitely getting better here. And then with the businesses that me and James and Sean were working on the side, like we started to get a bit of money. We're like, this is possible here. We could start a gym. So we just went for it, and I just knew what we could build, because I have to go over to Poglass to train for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we had something like this in our doorstep in our down, it would literally blow up. I just knew it would.
Yeah.
Because you can just tell by doing it, the way the gym is, and the people in the gym, they all get on like us. Especially in Fight Academy, they're just like us, like all downers, like the way we all get on, they're the exact same.
God bless them.
I know, but I mean, the way they all get on, I'm like, it's like a, as you said, like a family vibe, and it's like especially like that Gaelic team kind of culture. Everyone's just together, like, and they all love like pushing on, training hard and having good crack. Like I just knew that Ardoin could do with something like that, and then we got the gym opened, and now look.
See, for the gym, there's a lot of young fighters that are coming through Ardoin. Not to disrespect anybody else, but who do you think has like potential to go on to become a proper force?
I'll speak to only the teens, and I'll leave adults out, because the teens is where it's at for me. We have about 40 teens at the minute. Now I'm going to speak about some of the older ones. So the people I think they could, like, if they just commit themselves and really go for it, they could go far in the sport, would be the likes of like Aidan McDonald, who's only 17, and there's Aidan Mealy, he's 16. There's a few other ones, I don't want to leave anyone out, but also, Doherty, he's only 15. So those 3 names, I think in the next 3 to 5 years, you'll probably know them on the MMA scene. That's my belief.
And then for Arddown, like MMA, what is, because you've got an expansion going on now at the minute, what is kind of in store for Arddown over the next few months?
Well, we're upgrading our match space to accommodate for more members, so there's that, and we're getting that big cage wall put up the side. The gym's grown, the actual gym part, AmaFit. We have like 5-6 PTs at the minute as well, so I mean, just once we get these upgrades done and we're at full capacity, we'll just keep taking over, keep on taking fights, and just getting better and better. We're pretty new.
Do you ever look back and say 6-7 years ago and just think to yourself how far you've actually came and what you're doing for the community now? Because I've never met anybody that's had a bad word to say about what you are doing and what you have brought to the community.
You can't really slobber about it, to be honest. It is a good thing, but for me,
you have to be a dick to slobber about it.
You really would. Like, for me, I'm always looking. I don't really take much time to be like, oh, that's class, and spend too much time thinking about what's been done. I've got too much going on that I need to do. You know what I mean? I'm just always trying to get to the next thing and do something else. So for me, it is class, but there's so much more I want, and I need to get there. So when I get there, don't know if I'll look back or not. I'll have a new goal by then, but I mean, just keep on improving, making the place better. And my goal for that gym would be one day, hopefully, to own it. We're owning it, and that's there forever. So that's my biggest goal, is to make it it's not going anywhere. It's a staple. It already feels like it is. You can't let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
100%. You can't.
I mean,
See, for your fighting career, then you're wanting to make a comeback here this year.
I would like to. Now I've talked with Shando. I would like to do it. I would like to come back this year. I just need to get stuck back in. Now, obviously, I've loads going on. I've got the gym. I've got the league. I'm getting married. I've got loads going on. He's always like,
he's a busy man.
He loves stress. He just loves being stressed.
It keeps you going. It keeps you on your toes. All that there, and then, but I really, really want to fight again, because there's so much left in me that I haven't got to show.
Yeah.
And I'm only 30. So I mean, I've got a load of more fights in me still yet, but I'm going to Spain here in 3 weeks for the training camp, Ultimate Training Camp.
That'll be class.
We're going there in 3 weeks, and I'm hoping that kickstarts me into some sort of fight camp, and then we'll see where the rest of the year takes me. And
Adam, for you, like, how do you stay motivated and driven? I know you're in an environment that is highly motivated and highly driven, but realistically, because you're coaching the kids, the teens, and then you're going and coaching the likes of the pro fighters, you're going to the pro shows, and you're in their corner, and then you're doing the league as well. There's days that you're going to wake up and you don't feel like you're up for it. We all have those days.
100%.
How do you keep going when you've got days like that?
So, 100%, there is days, and especially after like weeks and weeks of you're maybe out every weekend for 6-7 weeks at a time, no days off. You do feel a bit burnt out at times, but the main thing is obviously the environment, that Pat and Shando are still staying driven, and that there's a standard there. So in my head, I have to meet that standard. And then the biggest driving factor is, you fight last week, it's Henry's fight next week. I have a responsibility to make sure that he's fully prepared. Yeah. He has to go in and fight somebody. So in my mind, I can't sit in the house and dwell on how I can't be fucked going to the gym whenever he has a fight coming up and he needs me to help him get better. So I think that comes down to it, that I think there's a standard that has to be met in the gym that I always want to try and meet and try and exceed and try and help myself with that. And that I have a duty of care and responsibility to make sure that no matter what, if you're 5 years old, like I'm going to Mullingar here tomorrow with my wee man who's fighting in a Muay Thai fight, if he's fighting in that, it means just as much to me to make sure that he feels confident and happy and prepared for that as what Henry might want to do if he's fighting in a pro fight, or Paul, or any of them boys.
I text Pat about coming on, but he just says, like respectfully, it's just not his kind of thing.
He doesn't often do public speaking, media. Yeah. I think it's not really his thing.
I was watching one of Paul's his vlogs he was doing, and I think it was the night when Paddy was supposed to be down in Dublin fighting, and it got cancelled, and then Pat was down there, and then on the vlog it says, so he was down in Dublin last night, and then he's back up to do, I think it was
Sunday morning.
There was a show on that Sunday. I think Peter O'Reilly was on it down Gertwood.
Oh yeah, Gladiator. Yeah. We were down a Cage Warriors that night, and then we were at Gladiator the next night.
Know what I mean? And just that kind of just keeping yourself motivated and just constantly get your family must hate you.
It is tough
because you're just constantly on the go.
I have a young family, so it is a lot of sacrifice. And I'll give her a shout out. My missus, Kathy, without her and the support from her and her supportive, and she wants to see me do well and push on and get our goals, and my goals help our family as well, helps our family grow and be more financially secure too. So she's very, very supportive of it, but it definitely is tiring for her. Like, she's got the kids week in, week out, day in, day out. Like, I'm working, and there's days where I may be working, going to shows, and I'm taking the sparring the next day, or I'm at a show again.
Yeah.
Like, there is weeks where maybe 6-7 weeks on the bounce, you're either not getting a day off, or you're away to shows and you're away all night. I'm travelling away for fights, you're away Thursday to Sunday. It is a lot, and it is very taxing on your mind. Like, sometimes when I come back from the shows, my social battery's just down. Like, I can barely sleep and all whenever I get into the house. It takes me a long time to unwind. And even a lot of time, like, my missus would tell you, like, after, like, big events, we are buzzing. See, a couple of days later, I'll be flat, like
you always get a flu, don't you, or something?
The week after. The big highs, you come down from them as well. But staying motivated is just, like, without that old thing, like, without sounding cliche, it's consistency. Like, there's days I don't want to be in the gym, but I have to go.
You have to go.
I have to go because I have that responsibility and I have to make that standard, but I have to make money too. It is my job too. Like, so you have to just be disciplined and consistent. And honestly, like, that's got me through way more in my coaching career than what I could have done in my fighting. I wasn't as consistent and I wasn't as disciplined as fighting, and I wasn't as good. But now that I'm coaching, I think the responsibility, especially with the young ones, to make sure that, like I said about Damien being nervous with Emmons, like, I have to make sure. I couldn't be lying in bed at night thinking I cancelled on him because I couldn't be fucked. Do you know what I mean?
Like, they rely on you.
They rely on me, like for a corner, and like for all the coaches. Same with Pat Shando. Like, you don't see Pat just messages on a Monday night going, here, take a class, I can't be fucked. I'm sure he can't, but you have to just do it. And then I always find when you get into the gym, you start very passionate about coaching, very passionate about MMA. So when I get in and start hitting into a flow, I don't think about it anymore.
Do you get easily, or kind of the same in terms of motivation when it comes to the likes of your Cage Warriors and your PFL, then go on to the likes of a smaller show like Gladiator? Would you still have the same buzz, the same adrenaline for both?
Definitely, especially if there's people like, you know, people who you care a lot about are fighting on all these different levels. These shows care about all the boys, and I coach so many of them that I have, like, good personal relationships with most of them, that I'll still get that buzz. Like, you're getting fucking hyper, like, competitive, or you're down the dumps because maybe they didn't get the win. Like, you feel that for them because you want to see them do so well. But in terms of, like, more excited, I would be lying if I didn't say I was more nervous for going to the likes of the big shows, like, and wanting to make sure that my corner performance is going to be good, that I'm going to shout the right stuff, that I'm going to see the right things, that there's going to be a good gel in the corner, like, all things like that. I like really think about a lot.
That's something that's overlooked. Corner performance.
Like, I want to make sure that my advice is, like, clear, and that, like, I'm shouting the right things, and that I'm watching really intently to make sure that you're watching, like, cause it's high paced, obviously, so you have to be so focused. So I would be lying if I didn't say I was more nervous for the big shows, because the stakes are bigger. Like, pro fights, there's more on the line. Your big nights, like, the stakes are higher, so I'm more nervous for that side of things, for how my corner performance is going to be. But I'm just as happy for them boys winning, you know, pro fights as I am for MMA League winners. Like,
were you over in Dubai?
Dubai for a week at the start of the year was unreal. Really, really good. Like, so week preparing with Paul for the Usman camp, unbelievable experience. Like I say, this is the kind of stuff I'd have been lying in bed dreaming about. Going, like, these are the type of opportunities, like, to go and coach in these. And you're watching embedded, and you're watching all the McGregor camps and all, and you're like, I'd love to be doing that. Whenever I was first starting to coaching, it seemed like it was so far away. I hadn't cut my teeth properly coaching. Wasn't coaching any pros, not even really any amateurs, just kids. And over time, it led up to then working with Paul and getting away for trips to Dubai. Phenomenal. It's like absolutely unbelievable. Like,
with Ardoyne, with obviously you're in Fight Academy, you've trained in Fight Academy, you've seen the environment. How long is it, do you think, until Ardoyne can see fighters from that club to go on to the likes of Cage Warriors or fighting in PFL? Because when you think of fighters up here, you think of Fight Academy. That's the first thing you think of. You hear a fighter from Fight Academy, whether it's novice or like amateur, and you think they're a killer, like they're the standard. How long do you think it is in terms of years that Ardoyne could be possibly considered up there?
Do you mean like on like big shows?
Yeah. In your estimate, like how long do you think it would be?
It depends on the fighter. But I would say within the next 3 to 5 years, we'll have a pro fighter. That'll be our first probably, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But these teens, if they stick to it, like some of the ones I mentioned earlier, if they stick to what they're doing, for 5 to 10 years, I think it'll be 5+ years before you see like a real, outcome of everything. That's my own belief, but I do think we're moving in the right direction. I'm not saying we're going to be Fight Academy. I'm saying that's when we'll have our pros, and then we'll start developing from there to hopefully get on the likes of Cage Warriors. Like you've got Peter O'Reilly, he's leading the way, you know, in terms of activity. He's a really good amateur. He works so hard and he lives the lifestyle. So if you had more people like him training, give us some time, and then you'll see the fruits of the labour later on. So yeah, give us 5 years or so, and we'll be competing pro, I'd say.
Like I would be into football, and I would play Football Manager. I know, weird, but I'd play Football Manager, and you see like the way you can scout players and stuff like that. There, do you ever think there could be a time where is it such a thing as poaching fighters and stuff like that? There, where people could go and watch your teams. The teams are going to be the next big thing. They're the ones that are coming through. Where bigger clubs could kind of come and see them and then try to poach them away from you. Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, well, I don't think it would be a thing where you're going to say, "Oh, come to us." I don't think I've seen that happen. But for me, like, people want to go to where it's at, and that's why a lot of pros and a lot of high level fighters go to Fight Academy too. You know, as well as all the homegrown stuff they have. For me, I was like, I need to be there. Yeah, I want to go there, because they're leading the way, and you want to train with the best. So I think it's more a fighter's choice rather than a coach going, "Oh, come here." It's up to the fighter. If you believe in, you know, the gym you're at that will bring you to the level you need to get to, then by all means stay there. Yeah. But for me, in my experience, I wanted to be there. I wanted to go there at my own choice.
See, I kind of think of like Fight Academy would be, like, in football terms, would be like here Real Madrid. Like, people want to go to Real Madrid. It's like the name of it and the facilities and stuff like that there. But each once in a while, a football club will have a golden generation that'll come through, and it'll be like 4 or 5 people that'll come through, and that could be with the teens in Ardoyne. Like, they could all come through together and stay together, and then that could be the thing that could put Ardoyne on the map in terms of all over Ireland. Do you think there's a possibility with the teams that you have right now of that happening?
I think they're very talented, and they retain everything you tell them. So for me as well, like, it's not just they're going to get to that certain level if we just keep doing what we're doing. I need to keep evolving too. So, you know, I need to go back and get my training and keep growing as well, or else the sport will move on. Yeah. You know, I just feel like you need to stay, you know, around it and constantly developing and learn yourself, so you can give them what you've learned to progress. I mean, but
so see, with the brothers, there's James, Sean, Henry, and Dan. So see, for the 4 of you,
there's not 3 of us. Watch.
See, for the 3 of you. See, just all of you fighting, and then this year you probably want to have a strong finish to the year, maybe coaching or personal ways. Mm-hmm. Do you still push each other on, or
there's a competitive edge between us in a healthy way. Like, for example, I know tomorrow James wants to fight me tomorrow in the gym because of what happened on Tuesday. I did the Pat McCall. Do you see where you cover their mouth? But I went a step further. I put my t-shirt around his head while he was like flattened out and he couldn't breathe. So I've been calling him Hollow Man. You watch that movie where they poured the stuff on him and he's all melted now. So I've been calling James Hollow Man, and he really just teasing him. And he wants to fight me tomorrow. So yeah, we're really competitive. I can be a bit more competitive with James and Sean than I would with like other people. Like, you're seeing you spar someone, like, you can spar hard, or you can go like a nice pace, but with James and Sean, it's like you can go that wee bit harder because you know they're not going to take it thick. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
They're at that standard and have that quality that you can't. Like,
for me, it's just about trusting your partners too. You know what I mean? You don't want to go with someone that's going to go hard to the point where they drop you and finish you. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they drop you, you want them to stop. 100%. You know what I mean? In the gym. But I mean, it's just about trusting your partners and having, you know, that understanding between you, that how hard you can go.
See, one of the best things I've seen really in the last few while was see Kieran McGee. Dingus. Yes. See his interview after that fight. I just I watch it each few days. I just go, that's fucking class. I just love it. It's just
class. He was like taking it thick. Just see some of the stuff that we put into our fighters too, stuff that we've learned where we're at. The academy, like from like Shandon and Pat. See that whole like self-belief that they have up there. That's infectious. Yeah. So I've taken that myself. Like Shando said it before, that they buy into your dream, right? And that's the proof is in the pudding. Look at the most fighters now are competing at them high levels of like PFL, Cage Warriors, and they all have a dream, and it's like your dream is really like achievable. Yeah. Just show up. Mm-hmm. So we try and take that kind of thing and put it in our fighters. Like, lads, you can do this and you can do that, especially over teens because they're so young. Like, you can literally be, you know, at the top of the sport if you just go and show up and train hard. And see with like Dingus, like see the whole like week before I sent him, Dingus, you need to go in here with a wee bit of a, you know, bit of a chip on your shoulder, like
bit of swagger about
be
you.
respectful, but don't be respectful to the point where you neglect your aggression and your performance. Go in there with a bit, you know, a bit of a chip on your shoulder and just fucking just get stuck in here. You know
He did that first 20 seconds. He
went in, he was angry. I think Dingus is the nicest guy in the world, and he. Like in the gym, he was always like tipping you, and he's going easy. And I think you need to go a wee bit, you know, a bit harder here. And see in this fight especially, going here with the intention of trying to hurt him to win, and he went in. He was unbelievable.
Unreal. See, just before we do close it off, lads, there's like obviously you can't do all this here kind of by yourselves. No, I mean it's a like as we said, financially it's demanding. Is there anybody that just we'd like to thank or speak about? Anybody that's helped you along the way?
Yeah. So big shout out, obviously, first and foremost to Shando for giving us the guidance and push to start the show, and for giving us the use of the gym as well. Big shout out to all the parents, teams, and people who have supported us and helped us, and from everything from moving gym equipment, just being there and giving their guidance and support and helping to clean, and then obviously all our sponsors. I'll just I'll pull them up here.
It's a long list.
I don't want to miss anyone. So I've got Michael's Barbers, Auto Solutions NI. Big News Podcast, Paul sponsored us, which is great too to see that he's like supporting the next generation, and it means a lot to him to see the next generation working. Dress Me Up Costumes, Safe Security, Future Focus Financial, CMOS, Collie Tannen, and Frankie's Lasagneria, and then obviously biggest shout out to Capture Athletics, who's our main sponsor and has been with us from day one, and he's honestly been really, really good with us, like, and just a big shout out to him. He's a great fella.
Unreal. Well, Big News like podcast is there, so I'm gonna have to jump in then. I'm gonna have to now. I'm gonna have to. Mentality Monsters is now a sponsor of Auto and MMA as well. Just to
That's right. So it is.
But lads, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate that, lads.
Thank you.
Lads and bro, thank you very much.
Appreciate you giving us the chance to get on and talk about the league.